guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have put together some tips for people who are traveling with children alone. So if you guys want to know some tips and what I think can save you the headaches, the tantrums, and all that good stuff, then just keep on watching. So most of you know that I recently just went to New York on vacation for a week, and I traveled by myself with my 5-month-old, 2-year-old, and 4-year-old. So it was definitely quite the trip. As we probably all know, flying with children is stressful. Now, if you throw in there flying alone with children, yes, kids, it's overly stressful. So my first tip is pretty much to start it all. It's to go ahead and schedule, or not even schedule, to book your flight either really early in the morning or late at night. For me, I booked it really early. The earlier we got up to get to the airport, the tireder my kids would be. Second, I would go ahead and print out all the tickets and all the stuff that you need to show to the airlines. I would print that out. I know nowadays you don't even need to print it out. All you have to do is show it on your phone. But for me, since I am traveling, or since I was traveling with a 5-month-old and my 2 toddlers, taking out my phone, it wasn't going to be a good idea. For me, I know when I'm like trying to look for my kids or make sure everyone's okay, you know, make sure Avery's sitting in the seat, not trying to unbuckle himself, making sure Elena stops screaming. For me, sometimes I will put my phone down in order to get this one, or in order to pick up the baby's bobo from the floor. You know, I'll set it down and not remember to pick it back up. So because I didn't want to lose my phone, I did not want to have to take it out at all. Like, I didn't get any pictures of me and the kids in the airport, like nothing, because I didn't want to take out my phone. I didn't want to set it down on the chair and forget to pick it back up, because knowing me, with all the chaos going on traveling with the kids, I knew that is a possibility that I would forget it. So what I did was I brought this bag, and it's just a crossover little over your body, like I wore it like this underneath my carrier, and I printed out the tickets and I put the tickets in here, and then I put my phone in here, and I did not touch the phone until I was actually on the plane, and it worked out great for me. Now, if you're someone who doesn't have that problem, then by all means, you know, use your phone and less paper that you're printing out. But if you are one that's possibly could lose their phone, definitely print out everything, carry it in your bag. That way there's no, oh my God, where's my phone happening. Okay, so the third tip for me would be make sure you bring like antibacterial wipes. Not your wipies, just like something that kills germs to the touch, because I'm a little bit of a germphobe in public, because when we go out, I think because my kids aren't around kids that often, and they're home with me, they tend to pick up every single little germ that's around. So I went ahead and actually got this pack of wet ones, and I wiped down the seats and I wiped down the trays and all that. Yeah, I know, a bit much, but you can never be too careful when it comes to germs, because they do travel around. So definitely bring hand sanitizer wipes, or wet ones, whatever, something that'll kill germs. Plus, I read somewhere that some people actually change the baby's diapers on those trays in front of you on the seats. Yeah. Next, I would recommend, my fourth tip, I would recommend bringing blankets or jackets, whatever works. I bought both. Now, if your kids can share nicely and you don't have like 2 fighting toddlers like I do, then you only need to bring one. But since my kids are my kids, I have to bring 2 separate ones, which worked out perfect, because I want to say within 15 minutes of us being on the plane, I don't even know if we took off yet, they were complaining that they were cold. So I went to go put the jackets on them, but then my 2-year-old thought, okay, let's go, let's get off of the plane now. And it was like, no, we're not getting off. No, we're not going bye-bye. I'm just trying to keep you warm. So quickly had to take that off and give them the blankets, so it worked out great. Tip number 5 would be definitely allow your children to bring stuff from home. Stuff meaning toys. I let the kids bring their little backpacks, one each. So Elena had hers, Avery had his, and they fill these up with the toys that they play with the most, and they brought them on the plane with them, and this was their carry-ons. And it worked out great because I think it reminded them of home and just, that interaction where they're playing and just like at home. So it kept them a little calmer. It just kept their mind off of the flying aspect, I guess you can say. Tip number 6, I believe I'm up to, is if you're traveling with a baby, definitely make sure you wear your baby, meaning bring some sort of carrier. So I ended up bringing this carrier that we have from J.J. Cole, and I hauled this in like my baby's essential. I'll go ahead and link it down below, but you just put it on this way and you put the baby through here, and then there's another piece that wraps around the baby, and this just let my hands be free, and it made sure that she was close to me like she normally always is. But it just worked out great, especially since I did have to bring the stroller, which leads me to my next tip. If you do have to bring a stroller, I had to bring a double stroller because I didn't want the kids being able to walk themselves, because again, my kids are a little on the wild side. So I would allow Elena to walk, or if I were to allow her to walk, it would just be me running around looking like a chicken with its head cut off. So I didn't want to deal with that. I went ahead and I gate checked my stroller. And when you gate check your stroller, the good thing is that once you get to your destination, you get off the flight, your stroller will be there for you waiting. So that's a great thing. So don't worry about checking it in with your baggage and luggages and all that. Definitely gate check it if you are bringing a stroller. If you're just traveling with a baby, then keep your everything hands free and just leave the stroller and check it in with your other bags. But if you have other kids, I would just recommend them being in the stroller. That way you don't have to worry about, okay, where's this one? There is that one. Okay, so my 7th tip, I believe I'm up to number 7, is that yes, you can bring liquids on the plane. You can bring it through TSA. I know I was looking for this information before I was flying the first time back last year, and a lot of people were saying, no, you can't. But you can. I'm not sure where people got that you can't, or maybe some airports you can't. I don't know. But all the airports that I went to, meaning MacArthur Airport in New York, Tampa International, and Orlando International, all you can bring liquids. So I bought the kids sippy cups, which are these Contigo cups here with the spout. I filled them up. I had half water and half apple juice in these, which I bought with us on the plane. And then I also brought the kids these little juice boxes. I'll get back to this in a second. So with this, they just unscrewed it and dipped a little stick in there, like not even a stick, it was like a piece of paper, and they tested the liquid and it was fine. And I also brought the baby's bottle, and that was filled with water as well, and they let me go. You cannot bring water bottles through. You have to toss them before, even if they're unopened. So maybe that's why, but then you're allowed to purchase water once you're past TSA. But in the airport, a bottle of water is like $5, so not doing that. Now, when it comes to these juice boxes, what they told me, and this was at Orlando International, they wanted to cut these open so that they can test the liquid, because they had to test the liquid, and since it wasn't see-through, there was no other way to test the liquid. So they told me either they can cut these open and I can pour them into something else, which I didn't have an empty container, or they can pat down either my boyfriend or myself. So he had to get like a full body pat down which really didn't make any sense, but okay. And then we were allowed to bring these through without them opening it and all of that. On the way back, I bought some water bottles, not water bottles, I bought juice bottles that were clear. The Mott's apple juice bottles, they're like little 4-ounce bottles, I believe, or maybe 6-ounce bottles. I don't know how many ounces it is in the juice, but they were clear, and I bought that with me, and that alleviated that hassle with having to get pat down or anything like that. And honestly, they just take the bottles and put it in some machine and it tests it. They don't open those bottles, they just open these. So yeah, it just takes a little bit extra time, but you can definitely bring liquids in with you. Now, don't bring water bottles. That you cannot bring. All right, so tip number 8, invest or get yourself a car seat cover. So I flew Frontier, and Frontier puts your car seats in bags for you. Even if you have them in your own little car seat bag, they still put it in another bag, which is really nice of Frontier. I didn't fly Frontier on the way back, which I totally forgot, and I flew Southwest, and they do not put your car seats in bags. So unfortunately for me, because Southwest does not assume liability for anything, both of my son's cup holders were missing, and of course they couldn't find them, whatever the case may be. Now, I flew Southwest coming here to Florida last year, and that didn't happen. So I don't know what the hell they did to the car seats that both of his cup holders came off. It's like, are you kidding me? But that's my fault. I definitely should have remembered, or I should have bought one before I left and, you know, had the car seats in bags, but unfortunately I didn't. So definitely invest in a car seat cover or a car seat case. I don't know what you call them. My next tip is to bring snacks. So for me, I bought 2 of these gallon-sized bags of snacks, filled with snacks in here for each kid, and I kept it in my carry-on. They definitely needed their snacks. So like I said, I had some fruit snacks, I had like Pirate's Booty, I had Goldfish, I bought some sandwiches for them, like the Smucker's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that are already made. I put one in each bag for them. Yeah, definitely bring your kids some snacks. I think this is my final tip, and this is the most important tip you will receive. When traveling with children, probably of any age, make sure you have electronics. Put that on the screen. Electronics. These kids nowadays cannot survive without them. Even if you normally do not let your kids look at tablets or play with your phone, do it for the trip. It is a lifesaver. So the kids both have Kindle Fires. Now both of the tablets are chipped. The screen is broke because Elena has broken both of them. But before we left, I was able to go ahead and buy like screen protectors that went over it. If you guys can see this, it's cracked, all of this right here. So there is a screen protector over this, so nothing is getting cut. And then with this case, it goes directly over the screen protector as well, so the screen protector can't come off. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but it's just like extra protection, if you guys can see. So Elena had this one and Avery had his, which again, it's cracked, but there's a screen protector over it, so it's completely fine. The kids had these, downloaded a whole bunch of games on their tablets for them, downloaded, Netflix, and I downloaded, because now on Netflix you can download movies to watch even if you're offline or don't have internet. So did that, and that was a lifesaver, like lifesaver. These things and the snacks and the juice, that's what held my kids over. They did not cry, they did not act up, they were well behaved, they enjoyed the plane ride, and no one complained about my children. I did get a whole bunch of, oh my God, you're brave, and oh my goodness, I didn't even know you had 3 kids on board, or oh, I didn't even know there were kids on the plane. That was on the way going, because on the way back we had a little mishap, but that's beside the point. but they just were so good. So I owe it all to these tablets. Netflix, thank you for that download and watch offline. That saved my life, because let me just tell you, my kids were so well behaved. And then the snacks. Now, just little extras. This is my carry-on, because I did bring a carry-on and the kid's diaper bag, and I didn't want to use the diaper bag as a carry-on. One, I don't think all the extra things that I brought would have fit in there, and two, I also had my makeup case in here, which is why I needed a carry-on. But I did bring this as a carry-on, and it does have another strap, like a shoulder strap, so it was fine. And what I had in here were the kids' snacks, all the extra snacks, and their tablets in here. And then I also packed them these two books, and these are just, you know, it has some stickers and some paper. They didn't use them as much. Elena just played with the stickers in this one, and that helped her quiet for the first 15 to 30 minutes of the plane ride. And same thing for Avery, he had the same one. And then I also packed them some coloring books. Elena didn't use hers at all. Avery did. He did end up coloring one of his pages. That worked out well. And then I also bought them two sandwich bags full of crayons, so that they had their own, because my kids cannot share. I also bought these little card games, which we didn't use on the plane, but we did use while we were like at the hotel and things like that as well. And I also bought them books. It was just one book each, and they, like I said, the first 15 to 30 minutes they played with books and all that good stuff. So this is the one that I bought for Avery, and I'll show you in a second the one that I bought for Elena. So yeah, and then I also had my diaper bag, which is just this diaper bag right here, and I had, you know, the regular stuff that I would normally keep in the diaper bag is what I kept in here. Another tip that I would recommend if your child is like under the age of, I want to say 5, you know, maybe 6, definitely 5, put them in a pull-up. That way you don't have to, especially if you're traveling with more than one child, there's no way that you are going to fit in the bathroom with all of your children. So I pray to God that no one had to use the bathroom, although Avery did have to use the bathroom. I put a pull-up on him, and I told him, you know, it was okay to pee in his pull-up, although it kind of backfired because he was crying his head off because he didn't want to pee in the pull-up. I guess he didn't want to pee on himself, I guess you would say, because he's so used to peeing in the potty. Eventually he did. I mean, he wasn't screaming or anything, but he was like whining with me. But eventually he couldn't hold it anymore, and so he ended up peeing, and he was upset with me, but he was totally fine, and my kids actually didn't poop. I just find it weird, or it's uncomfortable for me to ask like the flight attendants, like, oh, can you watch my kids while, you know, I go take this one to the bathroom. Like, first of all, I don't know you, I don't trust people, so I just didn't want to have to deal with it. Thankfully no one pooped, so it was absolutely fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope these tips may help you in your traveling experiences and make it easier for you. I know they definitely helps me. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah.